Neuralink versus reality. How close are we to brain-computer interfaces? Neuralink says it's changing the world, but how much is hype and how much is real? Today, we're breaking down Neuralink's biggest promises and comparing them to harsh reality. Musk promises telepathy within 5 years, but what's actually happening in labs around the world? And if you thought Neuralink was leading this race, you're wrong. Who's really running the brain-computer interface game? Stick around till the end. You'll find out why everything isn't what it seems. Elon Musk claims that in 5 years we'll communicate telepathically. Sounds like sci-fi? Let's break down what Neuralink actually promises. The company promises to restore movement to paralyzed people, letting them control prosthetics or computers with their thoughts. Sounds realistic since similar tech already exists. But then the real magic begins. Direct brain to internet connection, instant access to any information without Google, downloading new skills in seconds. The boldest promise is digital immortality. Musk seriously talks about uploading human consciousness to computers, creating backup copies of our memories. According to him, this will let humanity survive even after biological death. But here's the interesting detail. Musk has been making these same promises for over 5 years straight. In 2019, he promised human trials by year-end. In 2020, again by year-end, 2021, 2022, 2023. The pattern repeats with amazing accuracy. So what's really happening behind the company's closed doors? Now let's look at Neuralink's actual achievements. The company has made some impressive demonstrations. Remember the video of the monkey playing Pong with its mind? That actually worked. Then there was the pig with an implant, whose neural activity they read in real time. Sounds impressive, but let's dig deeper. In January 2024, Neuralink finally started their first human trials. A paralyzed patient actually learned to control a computer cursor and play chess. That's a real breakthrough. But there are catches. After a few months, some electrodes stopped working. The signals started weakening. This is a typical problem with all neural implants. Here's what's truly shocking. All these revolutionary Neuralink achievements have been done by other companies for over 10 years. Yeah, you heard right. People controlled cursors with their thoughts back in 2006. Monkeys played computer games through brain implants in 2002. So what makes Neuralink unique? The answer will shock you. While Musk promises telepathy, other companies are just doing their work, and the results are stunning. Blackrock Neurotech, a company you've probably never heard of, has been testing their implants on humans for 9 years. 9 years! Their patients don't just control cursors, they type text at 90 characters per minute, just with their thoughts. Synchron completely avoids skull surgery. Their stent is inserted through blood vessels. And now, attention, Stanford University created an implant that lets paralyzed people walk, not control a cursor. Walk. A patient with spinal cord injury stood up and walked after 12 years in a wheelchair. The funniest part? Many of these technologies use machine learning algorithms that are years ahead of what Neuralink shows. Meta is developing non-invasive BCIs that read thoughts through electroencephalography. No surgery at all. Turns out, while Elon gives press conferences with big promises, the real revolution is happening quietly in university labs. The irony is that the biggest breakthroughs are made not by Twitter billionaires, but by scientists nobody knows about. Wait, if the tech is so cool, why aren't we controlling phones with our minds yet? The answer's simpler than it seems, but also more terrifying. First problem, your brain literally eats implants. Yeah, you heard right. The immune system sees any electrode as a threat and gradually covers it with scar tissue. After a few months, the signal weakens. After a year or two, it disappears completely. Imagine buying an iPhone for $100,000, and after a year, it stops working forever. Second problem, accuracy. Neurons in the brain aren't like wires in a computer. They constantly change, adapt, die, and new ones are born. What meant left-hand movement yesterday might mean thirst today. Algorithms need constant recalibration. And the worst part, security. One system glitch, one hacker virus, and your brain becomes hostage. Sounds paranoid? Now, remember how many times your smartphone froze this past week? Ready for your memories to do the same? That's why we're still not living in a cyberpunk future. Now, the harsh truth. When will we actually have brain implants? Experts who don't work for Musk give completely different predictions. Medical BCIs for treating paralysis are reality right now, but scaling will take another 5 to 7 years. The reason is simple. Regulators don't mess around with brains. FDA approves each implant over years. Non-invasive BCIs, that's where the real future is. Imagine a helmet that reads your thoughts without surgery. Meta and Apple are already investing billions in this tech. In 3 to 5 years, we'll have the first consumer devices, not for telepathy, but simpler things, controlling music, choosing movies, basic communication. Here's the most unexpected prediction. The revolution will start not with humans, but with artificial intelligence. AI will learn to understand brain signals way better than humans, and then everything will change in just a few years. Telepathy a la Musk? Forget it for 20 to 30 years minimum. Consciousness uploading? That might turn out to be physically impossible. But controlling gadgets with your mind, that'll be here next decade. Just not the way Neuralink promises. So here's the main discovery. Neuralink is masterfully packaged marketing, not revolutionary science. Real breakthroughs are happening in labs you've never even heard of. Musk promises sci-fi in 5 years. But reality is this: medical BCIs already work. Non-invasive tech is coming, but telepathy is still decades away. The biggest irony? While we're discussing the billionaires' promises, Meta and Apple are quietly preparing the real revolution. They're not screaming about consciousness uploading. They're just making devices that will change our lives. Now the question: what happens when these technologies become available? Who will control our thoughts? And are we ready for a world where privacy of consciousness becomes a luxury? Write in the comments. Would you trust Musk with your brain? And subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new analytical breakdowns of the hottest technologies of our time.